Hey y'all, cooking, cutting up, keeping it real. I'm doing some crock pot cooking today in my kitchen, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna put together here. Bring my crock pot over. First things first, I'm gonna spray the inside of it. You can use a crock pot liner if you wish. That is totally fine. I'm gonna use what I've got, ingredients wise, and first thing is I am going to take, this is probably 2 tablespoons of bacon grease, and I'm gonna pop it in the microwave and get it melted. So it'll come out of my jar easily. And meanwhile, I'm gonna be over here, I've got some bone broth that I froze. It was chicken bone broth, to be exact. And so I'm just scooping some of that out. I want about a cup of bone broth. And I'm kind of eyeballing this. That looks pretty good. Okay, that goes back into the freezer for another time. Okay, so I'm gonna take my bacon grease that I had left over from frying some bacon last week. I'm gonna put it in the bottom of my crock pot because I'm gonna do cabbage in the crock pot. And I'm gonna take off, I've already washed this, but there's a little brown right there. Let me grab a knife. I'm gonna use the whole head of cabbage. Just slice that little brown piece off of there. Carefully. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this up best I can and put it in the bottom of my crock pot. I'm gonna cook this low and slow for about 4 to 5 hours. And I'm gonna take, you know what, I'm just gonna cut this because it's not gonna matter once I get it into the crock pot because it's all gonna cook down. So I don't have to worry about shredding it, you know, real carefully like. So I'm just gonna rough chop this. I love a crock pot recipe. I really love it during the heat of the summer because the whole, you know, kitchen doesn't get heated up.
Finding some pot recipes. Sorry, no recipes were found for pot.
Thanks, Alexa. Okay. I just cut Alexa off. I was listening to some Gaither gospel music before I recorded. Okay, I'm not going to use the core, of course. Easy peasy recipe. I'm going to use some cabbage, some seasoning, some bone broth, some bacon grease, and I'm going to put pork chops on the top. And I'll have a full meal other than a potato or a starch or maybe some corn. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet, but this is what I'm doing in the crock pot for now. Okay, I'm gonna nuke my bone broth. Because I wanna use that over the top, and I wanna put plenty of moisture in this so nothing gets dried out. That's the key to crock pot cooking, is making sure you got enough moisture in there. Okay, I've been out to the herbs this morning, and I've got me some herbs that I'm gonna use. And I'm gonna grab my pork chops. that I also had frozen and thawed those out. Okay, bone broth. You can use beef broth, chicken broth out of a can, but since I had some in the freezer, I'm going to use it. Okay, and you know what? I'm going to put just a little bit of water, maybe 1/4 cup, just for good measure. Okay, now to this, I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. I'm going to eyeball mine. I think that'll give it great flavor. And I'm also going to add maybe 1/4 cup of orange juice. I usually use apple juice, but I didn't have any. Let's do about 1/4 cup of that. I think that'll give it some good flavor. Now I'm going to use some red pepper. You can use black pepper, but I have red pepper flakes. I don't want to make it too awful hot. I'm the only one that eats cabbage in this house. So I used to make it for my father-in-law, and I had to watch how much heat I put in it because he wasn't a heat guy. Okay, now on the top of this, I'm gonna add these little beauties. These little beauties to do the duties for supper tonight. And I'm just gonna lay them on top of the cabbage. And when I get ready to eat tonight, of course I'll take the pork chops off, and I'll make the guys, I don't know, a baked potato or something to go with their pork chop. Let me give my hands a wash. Season those with everyday seasoning. That's in my cookbook. You can find it online as well. It's garlic powder, onion powder, parsley, salt, and pepper. I'm gonna give them a good dousing of that. And then since I have them, I'm gonna put me some herbs in there, and I'm just gonna put them in here just like they are. I've taken them out of the garden, washed them. I've got these little raised pots. Put a little bit of rosemary, not a lot. My guys are not big rosemary lovers, but if I put them in their whole like that, I can take them off without them seeing green stuff. Yeah, that's what they call it. What's the green stuff? Okay. Now, I'm gonna cover that, put it on low and slow for about 4 or 5 hours. Everything should be done together at the same time. And you can put any side that you want to with this particular dish. So low and slow, here we go. Like, share, and comment if you love cooking with your crock pot. Cooking, cutting up, keeping it real. Cabbage and pork chops. That's what we're doing for dinner tonight. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for following the page. Bye now.